get my shit together. It's fiesta time. I couldn't find anyone to fiesta with today. Jins is off doing, Jins is doing Zeta Blade. And Kaz is off doing something. I'm gonna make this green. Everybody likes green, right? I should probably check the audio. I just kind of presumed it would be okay. It seems okay. Man, Fiesta feels comfy. Although, let me check something. No Windows, I will never update you. Seems like as of this second I have no friends, so it's just gonna be me. That's a cruel joke I've made. That's fine though, this is not the most exciting part of Fiesta. Really, I should just try to get to the water crystal. Water crystal. I wonder how many times I've seen this intro. This is definitely the Final Fantasy I've played the most at this point. I've been thinking about Final Fantasies, though. I really hope I don't have to do what I think I have to do. I think I might have to play Final Fantasy X again. Because, I have not played that game in a very long time. I haven't played that game since I played it on PlayStation 2. And, it's a very good game. It's very stupid. It's frustrating in a lot of ways. Yeah, I would have to play Blitzball. Yeah. And I'm fairly certain the Blitzball exploit still works even on the newest version of the game. Where, you just hide behind the goal after scoring one eject shot, and then you win. Very important. Config. What happens if I set this to L666 just makes it white. I don't think I've ever made it black before. I forgot what button I made the B button. Oh, that's very important too. Auto dash. Geo Zerk Ninja Summon. I don't know what I've gotten yet. I would be happy with Geo Zerk Ninja Summoner, though. That's, pretty tasty. I'm just doing a regular old Regrand right now with Berserker Risk. If I do a second Fiesta, it'll be worse. Chomp 'em! I love killing goblins. There's hardly a monster I can consider the killing of more beautiful than that of goblins. For Kaz, it was gremlins. Please enter a name. Call me Farts. Farts. Exciting plot of this 20-year-old game we've all played dozens of times. Over there, we have a Grumpa. Grumpa. My name is Grumpa. Gotta go to the Wind Shrine. I wonder what will await us there. I don't know what my first job is yet. I'm sure I could just look. I'm sure anyone could just go look. But I've always waited till I got to the Wind Shrine to know. Well, did my good deed for the day. Nothing else needed out of a rambling man like me. Just have to go up to this thing. And then Boko will get upset for me for not committing to a life of violence. What am I saying? Farts would always have committed to a life of violence. Goblins. Well, yeah, Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X. That game... It's honestly one of the better Final Fantasies. But I hate the writing so much. Like, the writing of this game is really simplistic, but it's effective. The writing of 10 is just so dumb. Like, every single attempt it makes to be something just falls so flat. But then it's fun to play, so who gives a shit? That's the great hypocrisy of RPGs. Very few of them actually have good stories. Even though the whole point of the JRPG supposedly is the effective story, but the format is not good for the delivery of a story. The stories are rarely good. You often spend a lot of time with characters that receive no characterization or sparse characterization. The games where that's not the case tend to just be dumb. Like the Tales games. The wonder of a Tales game is that you get all of the characterization. You get lots of characterization, but... And the characterization is the good part. Cave is no place for chocobos. The characterization is the good part, but then the plots tend to be really dumb. Like, Brazuria is like the exception. Let me check the audio. Audio looks fine. It just seems loud to me. Steel bad. Ah, there's that music. I didn't know how much I had missed this. Look over there, there's a healing pond. Stroper! They made 5 games after this one to Final Fantasy X, and now they have made 5 games since Final Fantasy X to now. Who knows if we'll ever get Final Fantasy XVI? I wonder if it's in development now. Like, probably it's in pre-pro, probably. I wonder if they're going to give it to, what's his name? The Final Fantasy man. Because he did such an absolute shit job managing Final Fantasy 15 that they took it away from him and just stuck him on Kingdom Hearts 3. Who do you even get to make a Final Fantasy game right now that's not him? What is even his name? God, I can't remember. Nomura! Yes, thank you, Dusseldorf. Who do you get that's not Nomura to make a Final Fantasy game? Should they, like... they've been doing numbers in the title for 30 years. I don't think they'll stop. What if... I have to look up this guy's name. What if they go drag out Sakaguchi and say, our last Final Fantasy guy beefed it. Sakaguchi, we cast you out for your failures, but now you get one chance. Make us Final Fantasy 16. I would prefer, of course, if they got, like Ito to do it. What's Ito even doing nowadays? And like Matsuno, pull them out. It's their turn. It's their turn. Go back to Evilise. This 12 has a good story, but it's got bad characterization because you go 30 hours in between cutscenes and you forget everything about your characters. How good would 12 have been if it had skits in it? Realistically, Final Fantasy VII is probably the actual Final Fantasy XVI at this point. They're going to be all working on that for a while. Because they pulled a huge boner with their new Final Fantasy, so they said, why not just go back to the well? Pull out something that... something that's good. How long did it take 15 to make its money back, do you think? It certainly made a profit at this point, but it must have taken a while. Because of how that game was developed 3 times or whatever. I like this little bit here of Galoof, like, shitting on Farts, and then Farts pointing out, hey, you did it too. See, this is cute. This is good. Yeah, I'm festin'. We festin'. I don't know what my job is yet, but we're gonna get there soon. She had the same pendant as me. Yar har. What does this mean? Well, I would be upset at some jobs. Maybe. I don't like Red Mage. I've never liked having Red Mage. I will endure having a monk, but I prefer not to have a monk. Having a dancer makes monks pretty great, though. Because you can do capoeira. Having a thief early sucks, but having a thief in combination with other jobs is very good. Thief with a dancer is good. Thief with, basically, I like dancer, basically. But I'm doing Red Grand, which means one of my first jobs is going to be a Wind Crystal job. If the Fates love me, I will not get Monk. If the Fates find that I am very boring, they will give me Knight. If the Fates want me to have a very easy time, they will give me Black Mage. If the Fates want me to have a slow time, they will give me Thief or White Mage. I might as well just go straight to the Wind Shrine. There's nothing I need in town. Blue Mage, of course, would be the best option. I'm a Blue Mage master, and I love Blue Mage. It is criminal magic. That's why they wear masks on their faces. Most magic is criminal magic, yes. But blue magic, in particular, very criminal. Ale's gone. I think if you talk to this guy, he gives you potions. Bet you didn't know that, huh? I knew it. I know everything. Oh no! White snake! But all wizards are very criminal. I've been watching Thunderbolt Fantasy lately. And that's a game that knows wizards are criminal. It made me want to play a D&D campaign where the whole point of the campaign was you worked for a wizard who was sending you off to go fuck with other rival wizards. Like, your goal wasn't to save the world or anything. Your goal was to... Sesquipedalian Upicus sent you out to go ruin the potions of Australopithecamera. Those are wizard names that I've used before. I don't think I've ever made a wizard name as good as Australopithecamera, though. Australopithecamera is an all-time great. The broadsword isn't here. I know, Manny Wizard. Whatever shall I do? Equip. Oh no! Wing Raptor. He might decide to win, actually. No, I can take one more breath wing before I fall over. There we go. I'll ignore the staff. The staff is like a bad item. Okay, what's my job? Well, strap in, kids. We are knights. That is a powerful job, but a boring one. Means Garula is going to... I can do Garula fairly easily, but it'll be annoying. Feels warm. Daddy, no! Why are you in the crystal? I'm doing dumb voices. It's like bottom tier creativity. I'm just trying to get to Neo Garula so I can Neo kill him. Now, what I've never known is, was that actually Tycoon, or was that the evil Tycoon who was like, hey, I'm Liar Man, and I've secretly gotten you to break all the crystals for me. It's never well established if it was our actions that broke the crystals, or if we just managed to get to all the crystals as they were breaking. Okay, so we're knights. That means we are good at attacking. Now, let's become knights. We're knights. Hello, Blunt the King. We're knights. We have we have taken the path of the sword. Would I like to have a tutorial? No. Outlighter, you dumb bird. You're not even here. How do you know anything? Let us go to a wizard's place. And I will perform my favorite glitch. Here he comes. He's pathing towards me. Hello, Awesomatic. We're performing a glitch. Come here, you dumb wizard. You can do it. No, not that way. Oh, you are approaching me. You'll come to me eventually. And he teleports you to the Greenhorns Club. I have smuggled Ferris into the village. Let's go kill a goblin for his shoes. Normally Ferris doesn't get this experience, but now she does. I got some sweet AP. Normally I wouldn't do this, but I feel like why not? Paris comes here to make sure you don't forget about her, even though she's in our party. I'm gonna buy a broadsword. Paris is gone. I'm also going to buy some potion. But the reason I'm going to buy potion is for Siren. Let's go talk to Zoc. What's the guy's name from Rock and Rule? Is he Zoc or is he Mock? Hello, Burnhead. Burnhead, are you a big Rock and Rule fan? I would believe that you were. Smock? That doesn't sound right. Mock? At one point, at one point, the main bad guy is Iggy Pop, but usually he's... What is his name? Well, who is he? I'm looking it up. Mock. Yeah, Lou Reed is usually Mock. It is just Mock. Okay. My name is Mock. I mean, I like stuff that came up before I was born, Burnhead. The Rock and Roll came out in a time when movies with mice as the characters were popular. And, only this time somebody had seen heavy metal. And they said, what if we make the mice people, we make one of them a sexy lady, and we make the other one into Iggy Pop / Lou Reed. And make it about space. Or whatever. All the humans are dead. Hi, Kaz. I got Knight. My dad is pretty cool. He probably wouldn't... I don't know if he would have let me watch Rock and Roll, but he let me watch other things that I should not have. Yeah, I mean, I may as well Brave Blade, right? I have no reason not to at this point. Getting Knight first is like an invitation to Brave Blade. There could be reasons why I would choose not to Brave Blade it, but it would depend on the other jobs I get. If I got a better way to use the chicken knife than I would to use the Brave Blade, I'll just be like, just use Excalibur. I'm gonna jump into the on-air thing. If you wanna holler at me, Kaz, you should join me there. Well, I'm probably going to fight Liquid Flame with Berserker and Knight. Ah, you're cooking? Ooh, what's cooking? Good looking. Is it spaghetti? Potato. Now that's also fairly okay. I've been reading the follow-up manga to Dorohedoro lately, the Dye Dark. And it's so stupid I was shocked. And I adore that. The main character is some kind of being, and for some reason there's a legend that says if you get his bones, you can have any wish you want, and you will rule the galaxy. So he's constantly killing people who are trying to kill him for his bones. But he sneaks into an elementary space school when he is a child so that he can have a safe space to be. And when he's doing the sign-up process, he accidentally names himself Spaghetti and Meatballs. It's very dumb. I'm very into it. So here's what being a knight is all about. I attack hard, and I'm tough. There's not that many tricks you can pull. There's at least one trick you can pull with knight, and we might be doing that today. Into the fuel. I wonder if I should cook some potatoes. Is there a difficult way to cook potato? Potato is just so easy to cook with usually. Because there's not much you have to do to it to make it great. Really, all you have to do is butter. Like, once you've added butter to the potato, what else do you need? Because anything else you do will just succeed, so long as you have butter. Yeah, if your heat is too high and you cook for too short, you can undercook your potato. Healer. Dead. I shall partake of your tent, Carl Boss. I used to have a thing that was a useless kitchen device. And what it did was, you put a potato in it, and it would cut curly fries out of the potato. And I can't explain why, but a curly cut potato tastes different than a straight cut potato. And I've been desperate to find out why my whole life. Because the reason curly fries all taste the way they do is because of seasoning. Everybody seasons curly fries the same way. That's why they taste the way they do. But just cutting the fry in a spiral somehow changes the taste of it. And the only non-bullshit explanation I could come up with is that cutting it in a spiral somehow breaks down the cell walls of the potato in a different way so that it gets a different texture when cooking. Thank you for the sub, Medibot. 36 months. Jesus Christ, if I really had subs for 3 years, I guess so. Let's go to emotes in the chat. I need to make another, like, I need to make like 2 more emotes. I need to come up with what I want them to be. Should I make a Pipe emote? You think I should do that? Like, do a Pipe? That's the only thing that comes to mind, is Pipe. I do enjoy being precious. Well, I haven't even streamed the conclusion to the Pipe saga yet. Why would I do Andromeda next? I think I do have... I could maybe stream Andromeda 1.0. I've been putting off streaming 3 because I would have to buy it. The first time I played Mass Effect 3, I did not buy it. That turned out to be a good decision. But I don't pirate a lot of games nowadays. A bit of lag there. That's weird. What's in here? I don't remember. If I did Andromeda, I would have to find a way to put Pipe in it. Or maybe daughter of Pipe. Pipe. The box is fake. Oh, I want to run away so bad. What if I do? Because I guaranteed have a way to use Brave Blade. The way to use Brave Blade is attack. I might not have a good way to use the chicken knife. Doing Brave Blade will make sure that I at least have more levels than I usually do. Goodbye, Lena. This is fine. Get my level staggers in early. Skeleton. Skele-fun with skeleton. There had to have been like a game like that. You know? Like a Don't Wake Daddy type game that was Skele-fun with skeleton. There of course was Rattle Me Bones, which was not well known at its time of creation, but became famous in our time.
Oi.
Hi, Kaz.
It's me. I'm Kaz.
Kaz is here. Was there ever a game you could think of called Skelefun with Skeleton? Was that like
there
a
wasn't,
game?
but I'm pretty sure it is part of the Humble bundle to
yeah.
the recent one.
Of like the 1,500 games, one of them has to be
right.
called Skelefun with Skeleton.
Right? It's like it can't not be. Bundle for Racial Justice, that's what it's called.
Yeah. I got that.
I'm not afraid of saying those words.
I got that when it was 500 things. And now it is many more than that. I'm going to have to like find a list of shit in it that's actually worth looking at.
Yeah, I mean, there's... I can recommend looking to Author Blues for that. He definitely went through a bunch. And there, everyone has their favorites, and Hyperlight Drifter's in there too, I think.
Like, some of the stuff in there I already own, so it's...
Yeah.
But still, it was a circus of value, and for a good reason. Like, this is doing
I was also down for the circus of value.
And this, speaking of, usually...
I mean, I don't want to be a liar. Let me quick double check on that.
Usually, the Fiesta is done for Child's Play, which kind of sucks as far as charities go. But now it's for something better. It's for the Minneapolis Bail Fund. Fuck cops! Okay.
Yeah, no, it does list Hyperlight Drifter there on the first page. Also, Baba Is You.
Baba Is You
also,
is a good one.
God, Kerbal Space Program, that cursed thing.
Ooh, cursed.
Jeez. I must have gotten, okay, my experience with Kerbal Space Program was, trying to play it for, an hour. The game had no manual, no tutorial, and was basically non-functional, and people kept crowing about how cool and awesome it was. And I'm like, this is the most baffling... I felt like I was being gaslighted by an entire... Gaslighted by an entire community of people. Among them, Delicious Bees, beloved Dan Teasdale himself, who goes gaga for space stuff, I guess, but... I must have just gotten a non-functional build of the damn thing as a demo, and...
It's like, it not working is part of the appeal there, right? It's like...
I don't know. I don't know the appeal, and I don't want to know the appeal.
I should play some more Dwarf Fortress. That game also going to be available on itch and Steam in the future. I don't know how near of a future it is, but they're working on graphics for it so that more people can play it. I presume
I do find myself occasionally looking away from the screen whenever I'm watching you play Dwarf Fortress because the sheer chaos of squares is something that I can no longer adequately perceive. So I just choose to let you tell me what's going on rather than try to interpret anything whatsoever.
Usually, well, I could also be playing without a tile set. It'd be ASCII. Can you imagine that?
It would just be the Matrix. You would be looking at the Matrix.
Yeah, it'd be like looking at Matrix code. I'm not good without a tile. I need a tile set. Isn't there like another treasure around here? Yeah, you go up here, and then it's like... No, it's not up here. There's like rocks that appear. Or is that just a flail?
That's the flail. The flail is the rocks that appear.
Already gotten the flail.
Yeah. That thing that I said was fake all those years ago, and it is stuck in our little group's consciousness for so long. I feel bad about all of the things that I kind of introduced to my friends that are just false, basically. I wish I could take them back.
Oh, you can't, and that's part of being alive.
Yeah, I can't take it back. It's built into my bones now.
You can't go home again.
Got the, the the hip bones connected to the flail bone, and that's how the skeletons are born.
Skeleton, what skeleton?
Which, like we said, is definitely part of that bundle.
Yes.
No, I like that you're taking on the Brave Blade challenge. I do consider it a challenge, especially once you get into like late game areas.
Yeah, and it's of benefit to me to do so, because I'm not going to stop and grind at any point, so I might as well get my levels in now.
Oh, I am definitely planning on stopping and grinding at several points because my start is monk.
Ooh.
If I don't get those levels, I don't have damage. It also kind of puts me on the hook to go to the cleft of the ocean.
Right, for the Kaiser Knucks.
Yeah. I am addicted to Kaiser Knuckles.
Who doesn't like the Kaiser
Knuckles?
Great.
I mean, I wish they were actual fist equipment rather than an accessory.
Yeah,
like, oh man. Oh, Monk would be just so broken if they could equip an accessory. Like, get the hell out of here. That's one of the changes that I would make to FF5.
But you can never wear a hat. That's my compromise.
I would also give Dragoon something to do.
I would give Dragoon something to do in another game by removing it from the game. You can go be the highest DPS class in 14 or whatever. Go do that. I think Dragoon is the highest now after they nerfed some.
I don't know. I feel like... Okay, so the stages of grief of Final Fantasy XIV is playing DPS just to get a feel for stuff and like have people tell you what to do and stay out of trouble, more or less. And then you're like, okay, I kind of see what's going on. And then you try like healing or tanking, either or. That's the same stage of grief there, where you're like, okay, well, what if I was more on, controlling the pace of the dungeon or whatever, and you get to see how that goes. And then there's a stage beyond that where you go back to DPS again because you're no longer interested in the incredible stressful job that is either tank or healer, especially in like high level duties, and you just want to see who can make the most numbers go, and you become hyper competitive about everything, and I cannot stand that kind of person. That's not as to say if you are that kind of person, I can't stand you as a person. Rather, I don't want to expose myself to you while you are doing that. We can just not. And I've learned over long training that that's just something that I have to accept. Like, as soon as you put on the DPS tracker, I'm just gonna go do something else for a while and not be around you for a bit, because I can't. I hate the DPS tracker to death, both as a concept and as a means of... It's just a means of shaming people.
That's why you're not allowed to use it on other people anymore. You can only use it for yourself, which I wouldn't be upset if they got rid of that too.
Well, I mean, everyone does it. It's illegal, but everyone does it. It's the kind of thing that you're technically violating terms of service to use or whatever, but no one actually cares. Not like real money auction trading. That's the only thing you can report someone for in FF14, by the way. Is real money trading activity.
My parts is dead. This is why I bought those potions, so that I could throw them at Siren.
That's a good one. Well, that's 5 ABP that Bartz isn't going to get on Night.
Oh no!
Yeah.
See, I am the one person who does not drive 5 miles per hour over the limit, but that is because I'm afraid of dying. I've always been afraid of cars.
That's a valid fear. They're huge and deadly.
It's like the one thing you do every day that has a solid chance of killing you.
They would be a killing machine if that were their original purpose. They're quite good at that. They, you know, most cars aren't designed to turn. I hate that to death about them.
They're designed to go in a straight line.
Yeah, that's correct. They are designed to go in a straight line and not really to turn.
If they were really designed to turn, then all four wheels would turn when you turn the wheel.
That's exactly it.
Like a Warthog.
You're correct.
Although that would make the engineering the differential in the back like a fucking nightmare.
It wouldn't be that bad, and it has been done before.
Yeah, it has.
There's actually a vehicle that is named after me that does it.
I didn't know your name was Warthog.
My name is Kaz, you idiot. And there was a concept. It's like an 8-wheeled concept car that looks like a VW Bug that just got overgrown with cancer or something. It's the wildest thing. I used to Google my own name before I started binging things.
Just bing it out. We'll bring back Puzzle Pirates. Maybe the Puzzle Pirates will design a 4-wheel turning vehicle for everyday use. I wanted to run away so bad. Needless a counter.
Okay, sorry about that. I hit a bunch of wrong buttons and then ran away to the kitchen. I don't know if the potatoes are done yet, but I'm too full of whiskey to care, and so I turned the oven off to make sure that I didn't like super burn them if I forget.
They'll cook under their own heat for a while if you let them.
Yeah, it's not like the oven suddenly goes to like room temperature instantly when you turn it off, right? It's just, you know, it's me preventing forest fires in the forest of my own apartment.
Potato. I should grow some potatoes. It's a little late to get them to the ground now, though. Maybe I'll do them next year. You want to get them in there mid-spring, and then they'll be done by the end of summer. One of the things you can do... Yeah, it takes a... How long plants take to grow is weird. Video games make you think crops take a week to grow, but it actually takes months.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with that because as a hobby, my dad would develop his own land. Now, I lived in the suburbs, and we had, like, a front and backyard, and, like, it was almost a joke that every year my dad would till more of the soil in the yard, and just more of the grass would become garden. And now it's all garden.
Well, that's good.
It's just all garden.
A lawn is terrible for, like,
lawns are
animals. A garden is slightly better. Time for cats.
Like, a completely uniform monocrop lawn sucks, actually. Sure, it looks like uniform and green, but it, you know, it lacks good local wildlife biodiversity and so on. But yeah, if I ever did have a yard of my own, I think I would do something similar. I would try to cultivate an appropriately, you know, not just let everything overgrow, right? Because that's awful. I mean, for instance, this is talking about my parents, right, who live in the Commonwealth of Virginia. And Virginia is home to, I think, more species of poisonous and venomous animal than any other place on Earth. I don't know if that's a fact, but it seemed like it while I was living there, because we had, like, every poisonous snake that you could think of, and all the spiders, too. And, like, the only thing stopping us from having scorpions is that there's too many mountains, I think.
Probably has some scorpions.
There's probably some scorpions, though, yeah.
I've recently.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, at the very least, I have a bit of personal experience with how long it takes to grow things. So that inoculated me against the video gamey Harvest Moon, you know, plant it today, harvest it tomorrow kind of thing. Although even I think Harvest Moon does a decent job of, you know, making you plan things out at least in video game terms. Maybe I just want to go on about how good Harvest Moon 64 was because I love that stupid thing.
Oh, Farts is dead. I didn't buy any
Long
equipment, so I'm kind of getting beat up a little bit.
Yeah, that particular decision is starting to look suspect.
We're in the first level. Let's go back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'll buy armor. I don't know if I'll buy
If you're
weapons.
getting worked over this hard by rock slugs, I shudder to think what Hoozy is going to do to you. Whip Lady.
So long as I could kill her before, because I have Quad Knight, I could maybe kill her before Forza showed up, and then it would not be nearly as an issue.
It comes down to, will she decide to use Drain?
Ooh, true.
And that's I mean, it's kind of that way for most parties. If you happened to get a rod, or if you happen to get a class that could use rods, you can just break the frost rod on her, and then, you know, that's that. But if you don't, then yeah, you kind of have to, it's on you to come up with damage. Like my plan for Megissa, that's her name. My plan for Megissa is to quad focus, because I'm going to have Monk at that point. And that should take her out, because she only has like 800 hit points or something.
Okay, that's the game telling me to use a tent.
Hey! Get one for free, I don't mind it.
Yeah. I thought I could just ride on my high base attack, and I basically was. That part was fine. It was my leather armor.
Also, right, if you get like a like, I want to say it's like 1 or 2 more levels, your power is going to dramatically increase thanks to how multipliers work. There's a certain level at which each of the characters gets an increase to their multiplier. In Bravely Default and Bravely Second, this is derived stat from dexterity, but in classic games like ff4 and ff5, it's just a stat that goes up sometimes. You just get a combat multiplier.
I'm going back towards... Nope, it's over here. Yeah, no, it's not over here. I'm going back towards the ship graveyard. Where am I? I never go back, so I don't know where I'm scared and lost.
I'm used to half-minute hero. You just go to the right in that game.
Yeah, it's like, I'm lost, I'm scared. This game I've played literally dozens of times, I don't know. See, now that I'm going...
One minor setback has happened, and now the whole plan is lost.
I mean...
I don't know how to adapt.
I go on tilt a lot. At least I used to. I used to a lot. I think finally finding things I was good at kind of made me not go on tilt as much. Can you imagine a time where I was good at basically no video game? Because I can.
I mean, honestly, no. Like, I started... Like, our relationship began after you had already become a hyper-expert at least one video game.
Yeah.
So, for me, no, I don't really know what that's like.
It was probably Dark Souls that did it. Like, Dark Souls for you was revelatory, and then just introducing you to a spicy game. A game that's spicy food. But for me, it was playing a game that everybody told me was hard, and having a really hard time with it, but then beating it anyways, and then eventually becoming the game's master.
That's kind of how I felt happened to me with Dark Souls. Now, I am especially proud of my own first run of Dark Souls, having watched the whole goddamn thing also. That was my project from last year, was forcing myself to watch my own work and get the experience, like when I'm about to climb up the threshold into the Moonlight Butterfly, and I'm like, I should probably go through this threshold, and then immediately turn to the side and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
that whole run was me saying things like, I should probably do this, that, and the other thing, and then not doing them. Oh, it was precious.
My first
But
run.
You can't go every direction at once, so you gotta pick.
You gotta pick. My first run of the game was very terrible because I found the winged spear early on in the graveyard and discovered that I could attack while I saw one of the spearmen attack while their shield was up.
Attack. He learns a block and attack.
So, and then I started doing it. So, like, I found this winged spear. It sounds cool.
Right. You learned the coward's way.
Yeah, so I was blocking all the time, and I used spears, which are okay, but generally underpowered. And until I got the Silver Knight Spear, getting one of those, that weapon is actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
It was very funny. I found the giant blacksmith, and actually was able to make Ornstein's spear.
Oh, nice.
And I leveled up all the way to be able to use that thing. And it was worse than Silver Knight Spear. And I felt so deflated.
I think I kind of did that to myself with Large Club. Just because...
You made it magic.
I did make it magic. I'm like, well, I have this Large Club now, and this guy is here now. Let me try new things. Because I still didn't really understand how scaling worked. Even though I attached myself to Club based on its strength scaling.
Although...
That came around to be a good thing.
That came eventually around. You did have, like, really high dexterity for no reason, but hey, who cares? It gave you defense.
Yeah.
You leveled your dexterity up to, like, 20 or 25.
Yeah, I don't even remember doing that. And this is after I watched myself do it. But yeah. But no, the reason that I actually approve of my own first playthrough of Dark Souls and the way that I did it, and the way that I, like, failed so much before actually succeeding, is it gave me the tools that I needed to, like, Daughters of Ash, of all things. Because Daughters of Ash is a mod to Dark Souls. It's a pretty substantial one. It changes some of the routing. Like, you basically have to do Reverse Blighttown to do the, like, normal route of the game. And so, I mean, it doesn't undo Lower Berg skip, so Lower Berg is now a much later game area, so you can skip into that if you want, and it's thrilling.
I remapped where the B button was at some point, and it's fucking with me. Our Mithril helmet.
Here's Megitza. Hopefully we can
Place it.
we can attack her down. But yeah, so Daughters of Ash, and when I played while I was playing through that mod, I'm like, you know, okay, they've changed up some stuff. That's kind of weird. And then it did some other things that I super appreciated, and I'm like, that's good. It's the, like, spicy mod stuff. It did a lot of stuff. The kind of things that Ogre was talking about. I did have a bit of conversation with them afterward, after you pointed that out. It does a lot of, like, kind of pointless, baffling things. Like, the Crestfallen Warrior is slightly moved.
Yeah.
He's just in a slightly different place. Cool. And, you know, that's the kind of thing that while I was playing through the mod, I looked at that and I'm like, okay, well, whoever made this mod is just figuring out what they're capable of, and this is the leftovers from them trying stuff. So I didn't really, like, I didn't mind that. It didn't really register to me. I'm just like, that's the kind of thing that I would do if I was first working out, you know, what I'm capable of within the mod. Oh man, you branched her hard.
Yeah, my plan worked. My plan of attacking her. Yeah.
Good work. So, for the sake of the audience, if you're not a hyper expert in Final Fantasy V, Megissa there is able to summon her husband, Forza, who's another, like, 900 plus health of Beefcake.
And he attacks.
And his existence puts Megissa in the back row, also.
And she starts buffing him with Protect and Haste.
Yeah.
So if you just murder her... by attacking.
If you can attack aggressively, then you're all right. If you start with like white mage, you're basically in it for the long haul against the both of them.
Yeah, they can't really kill you because you have protect at that point.
Yeah,
but
you're definitely functionally immortal at that point. But boy, do those fights! Even Carl boss takes for fucking ever because you have one flail. So you have one person who can do meaningful damage.
Oh,
and then
against
everyone
Carl
else...
boss, you don't even have flail.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it takes forever. And then Garula, you have flail, 3 people blocking, and 1 person attacking with flail.
1 person attacking. You know, the other 3 people are alternating block and heal the whoever took counterattacks. Good lord. It pays off later.
It does.
White Mage in the Cleft of Dimension gets Holy for 20 MP, which is a pittance. And basically every boss in that entire place is weak to Holy.
And just being able to heal is like a power.
That's true. Frequently, I find myself
unable to.
Yeah, I mean, with the various video games that I play and JRPGs and stuff, I take a look at the situation in terms of like, am I capable of healing? Are they capable of healing? Because in a lot of scenarios, in like Final Fantasy Tactics A2 Grimoire of the Rift, for instance, you'll have a lot of opponents who just cannot restore their own hit points whatsoever, and that kind of thing is like really comfortable.
Well, I'm dead
after a point.
I walked 1 tile too far.
Yep, the Jackanapes is here to collect your blood. Yeah, you can't even critical hit, so there's no scenario where
I can't run away because it would ruin the Brave Blade.
Yeah, he's hard to run from also, but... I mean, hard. You know how it works.
I know. You can do it, but... Okay, this time I will walk 1 square less.
But yeah, as far as the notion of like being good at a video game, I never felt like I was good at a video game growing up. Like, even for things that I knew a bunch about, like I played a lot of Final Fantasy IV, and I learned many facts about that game, most of which have fallen out of my head at this point. Many of those, in the first place, weren't actually very useful, but I have also still retained many, and I didn't feel like Final Fantasy IV was the kind of video game you could be good at. I just didn't perceive it as being like a skill thing. And I played Killer Instinct with my friends or whatever, and, you know, got okay enough to compete with them, but that game is also kind of not actually a good fighting game, it turns out. It looked really cool. It had 3D models and photoscoped.
What more could you want than that?
Right? It's like, it's just a visual spectacle and you're baffled as a child. Also, the physical cartridge was a slightly different color than the others, signaling that it was special.
Anytime you saw that in like a VHS tape, you knew that whatever it was dog shit, and they were just changing the changing the physical media to try to make it stand out because the content sure wouldn't.
With VHS, it was that was an understood signifier even back then, but with Super Nintendo cartridges, they were special. They were doing that stuff as far back as the NES, the gold cart of Legend of Zelda.
Zelda had a gold card, yeah. So did they did that with N64 games too. Majora's Mask had a holographic sticker.
Ooh. Ain't that fancy.
Got my elf cape.
Okay. Good. I have made a resolution. You're gonna be happy with me as soon as you see me stream the Fiesta, which isn't gonna be tonight, because it's already too late for me to start streaming. So I had this tentative plan that I was going to like start streaming as soon as Jens was done. But then he did 2 things right back to back, and I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna be going forever. So then I'm just like, okay, no, I'm not gonna start a stream at like 10 p.m. anymore. Or I don't know, try not to. I might still do that. I've been kind of the late night person for a while, which has not been great. I mean, I do like doing it. It's just everyone is already fucking asleep, so I have no one to talk to. And then everyone catches it on the VOD or whatever, and the people who like watching me play Bravely Default or whatever are happy enough with that, but I don't get to interact with them while it's happening. So
Yeah.
that doesn't feel as good.
Makes it feel a little lonely.
A little bit. I try to tease out conversation from anyone who will talk to me while I have them on the horn.
Alright, then the exciting music goes right away. And I should, at this point, buy weapons. The ruler will be difficult if I try to beat him with dagger.
I mean, we should be able to get at least broadsword, right?
We should have mithril sword.
Ooh, that's even better.
Nope, just longsword. Do I want to buy a longsword? They're cheap.
I don't think you want 8 of them, but yeah.
I could invest. It's an investment, Kaz.
It's longsword futures. This commodity is going to...
I could have swore we got mithril sword at this point, but I think I could farm them off ice soldier if I really wanted to, but
yeah, maybe that's it.
that's the meteor. No, I'm gonna go to the tower, not the meteor. Meteors later. Can I just ignore the king? Do I have to talk to him? I don't remember. Yeah, sword you out. No, don't attack the ice soldier. Attack elf toad. I forgot to end, but it's fine. I'll just use the save point. Yep, do not have to talk to the king. Worthless robe. Yeah, that's gold right there, probably. I probably won't even bother selling it for a while. Not until I need money. Pas dessus. I don't know how to pronounce French things very well, so I just try to pronounce them with as much disgust as I can. That's the impression I get of how a Frenchman speaks.
Okay, good news. My potatoes are cooked all the way through.
Well, that is good. I'm fighting Pas dessus and Rickard Mage.
He means soulless in French. Pas de soul. Not a 1. Well, those soul, like your spirit or ghost or whatever, is so soul, like the pas de soul, there is individual.
There are some French words I just find ridiculous.
Many of them are.
Like, what did you cook today, Kaz?
Pomme de terre.
Yeah, the apple of the dirt, or apple of the earth. My least favorite, though, is what's the French word for butter?
Bear.
It just... I want to slap some burr on my pomme de terre.
Petit peu de beurre pour mon pomme de terre. Ouais.
Don't like it. They did wrong. I have a complaint to lodge with the Academy.
French homophones are kind of out of control. There's like... Oh... Man, there's like a whole Twitter account who does like these constructions where they, you know, videotape entering things into Google Translate and then having them pronounced. And then it's like, you type in blood and hit the pronounce button and it says song. You put in without and it says song. And then they build these ridiculous sounding sentences that are just like song 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 song. It's like, that's a complete sentence.
Should I bother getting critical HP before the fight, or just see if it happens in the fight?
If it happens in the fight, it might happen because of HP leak,
Yeah, and that
which would not be okay.
We're just gonna roll with it.
Yeah. But yeah, the thing here is that knights will automatically cover for low HP partners, and if the knight who has high enough HP to do it is also guarding, they cannot take damage from physical. So you just have like a perfect blocker.
Man, I can't really engineer having low enough health.
Yeah, and the thing with Garula here is that they will counterattack. Oh man, Ferris hit herself for Exactsies. That's, you hate to see it. Yes, also you can guard yourself.
Okay, so now...
Okay.
I thought I pressed right, not A. I pressed A and then right, not right then A.
We can pick up the pieces here.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up the pieces by hitting this button.
Oh. Oh man, what was my phrase? This is recoverable. Oh man. God, I might actually like Bravely Default and Bravely Second, God help me.
Well, it's okay to like games that have good ideas in them.
I can say for certain that there are at least 2 good ideas in each of those video games. Confident of that.
Well, one of the good ideas was they decided to rip off this game, which is an underappreciated game.
Is it underappreciated at this point? I mean, we have the Fiesta every year.
I think the Fiesta is still pretty niche, though. Like, this game never comes up in discussions of, like, people's favorite Final Fantasy games.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is because the plot is so completely cartoonishly ludicrous.
I think the plot makes a lot more sense than other games do.
If we're talking about, like, mainline Final Fantasies, then maybe, but... Okay, so let me set up my basis, if you will. I believe there are 3 kinds of people who like JRPGs. Okay, you got your mechanics likers, for whom the like puzzle of combat is more interesting than a puzzle game and more friendly than like a dexterity-based game. So a way to like demonstrate mastery over a system. You got your plot likers, who appreciate the plots of JRPGs
for some
more
reason
than like regular books. Yeah. More than regular books, because you have some like personal involvement with pushing them forward. And then you got your people who like the aesthetics of JRPGs, who really relate to characters based on what they look like. more than what they like are or do, and really like fan art and posting fan art and imagining themselves drinking boba tea with these characters.
I'm willing to say that is
Persona
95% of JRPG players. These are the people who like Persona 5.
I don't know how it breaks down, but at the very least, I am very much in the mechanics liker position. Like, if a JRPG happens to have a good plot, then great.
Which one does?
I can appreciate that too. Lufia 2.
Yeah, that's the one that has a good plot. I can't think of any that do.
Final Fantasy X-2.
Nope.
It's also pretty decent.
Sorry.
No, it is.
That one's bad.
It is. No, it isn't.
It's very bad, Cass.
Very bad? I wouldn't give... In no world would I call it very bad. Come on.
Because, it beefs it at the ending. Where Yuna's whole story of, like, self-discovery and learning to move on, like, I'll throw that shit away.
Yeah, and then resurrect my boyfriend, because I get to have everything that I want this time. Because I am a powerful, magical, idol princess. There's a time and place for that to be the expression of, like, a character's arc or growth or whatever. And I think that Final Fantasy X-2 did it well.
I'm just gonna throw myself at Garula and just whatever happens, happens.
Put the sword into the elephant until one of us die.
Rides the shoe puff?
But no, there's genuinely some JRPGs that I like for plot that aren't Final Fantasy X-2. I'm not going to try to defend that game anymore.
I like the game. I just think that it's spaghetti. But, like, I think 12 has a fine plot, but I was talking about how the characterization is bad because of how long between characterization it is, so you kind of forget everything about your characters. Because the last time you had a cutscene was 20 hours ago.
Yeah, Final Fantasy XII is one of those video games that is designed to put me to sleep. I don't know what it is. It happens with Final Fantasy XII. It happens with Okami. It happens with Xenoblade. It just keeps going, and it's so monotone for whatever the like level is. There's never any building action. There's
19?
never any falling action.
I'm not at critical HP at 19. Okay, he is.
It was an illusion. Ooh, the cover plus elf cape. I like it.
Stop blocking. No.
One too many damages.
Yeah, one too many. Well, I should basically be invincible at this point, so sorry, Luna. We're gonna do this the hard way.
Yeah, this is the machine.
So, Ferris...
This machine also works in Bravely Default and Bravely Second, by the way. It's kind of absurd. Not only that, but you have, like, Red Mage, who has, MP free in a pinch as a passive, so if you are at low health as a Red Mage, you can just cast spells for free, and spells in this game can, like, cost hundreds of MP that you just get for nothing. Oh, it's pretty good. There are lots of machines that you can build in those games.
When I'm having to drink potions because of the HP drain.
Yeah, the MP, yeah, the HP leak is something that you can't really get around. It's gonna have to to hoof it. Thankfully, the act of using potion rather than attacking Garula gives you a bit of a reprieve because you're not triggering a counterattack.
Is this worth a Phoenix down?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it is. They should come back at critical HP, which is why I'm okay.
Oh, that's, by the way, another somewhat worrisome part about Bravely Default and Bravely Second. Phoenix Downs are extremely cheap in those games, which should cause you to worry. Like, anytime those are like too cheap, you're like, oh man, they're gonna put me in the meat grinder, aren't they? And they do. Man, can't catch a break.
We're just gonna do this the slow way. Because I couldn't find a good monster to set up on, and I got bored.
Yeah, the only other thing that I could think is that...
Maybe switching off Longsword would be like the thing to do, and then like do that.
Well, I was thinking of getting at least one character up to two-handing, and then make them the person who's at low HP.
Yeah, but that would take forever.
Would it?
No.
I think two-hand happens.
It would take effort though, and I could just win.
Okay, fine. You won. You got those 5 ADP back on specifically farts.
Yeah, gotta level it up.
Well, you earned it.
Okay, I get to tweet.
Yeah, I've actually been thinking a lot about these games because I'm in the middle of writing an extremely lengthy video essay about them.
I've been thinking about Final Fantasy X a lot. I might have to play that game again because I haven't played it since 2006.
Like, every time someone opens up any sphere grid, my eyes start rolling back in my head. The sphere grid was honestly my biggest obstacle to enjoying Salt and Sanctuary. Because that game also had a sphere grid.
So does Path of Exile.
Yeah, and I stopped playing that very soon after Path of Exile happened.
I don't like
the same reason.
Any sphere grids except for 10's sphere grid. I like that sphere grid.
You know what I would like out of a game that has a sphere grid?
Respecking.
Okay, yes. I'm a firm believer that any game that has specking should have respecking. Like, if you want to attach a cost to it, fine, but you should have it. Because, let me tell you, even if you don't introduce respecking into your game, it already exists, and that's called starting over again. And that sucks.
Yes. It's the one thing Dark Souls 2 has over Dark Souls. I wonder if they'll add it to the Demon's Soul remake.
I really hate to do this to you, but I think the power stance
yeah, power stance
is something
good.
that it has. And like Cestus is actually fun and good.
Cestus is actually fun and good. I love punching in that game so much.
I also did. Like, you saved my fucking life when you interceded on my behalf and said, "Hey, Kaz, stop doing this shit.
Go punch.
Pick up that fist
Don't
and go punch."
Stop blocking. Blocking's bad. Stop.
You literally saved my life. I had gotten past extincting several enemies and getting to the high water mark of the Flexile Sentry, which demonstrated to everyone in the audience that the water is rising while you are fighting Flexile Sentry. No one knew this.
No, I didn't know it.
I knew this because I took too fucking long fighting it.
Well, then you pull out your gloves, you get in that angry pose, and then you beat ass.
It is with extreme ambivalence that I recommend to anyone that they do this in Dark Souls 2, of course, because I like that feature. I think it's great. The punching feels really good and satisfying. I like that punching is a viable strategy basically until the end of the game.
You still have to play the game though.
I wish it could be like better explained to the player in some kind of straightforward capacity that this is an available option.
Yeah, I don't know if the game ever says to do it. My most hated thing is that the dual wielding class can't power stance the weapons it starts with. Like, you start with scimitar and short sword +1.
There's so much of Dark Souls 2 that is fucking opposite work in its own design.
Thanks for the host and sub, Jins. I'm dead. I should end. We're sitting on the on-air if you want to pop in with us. Yeah, I don't think the game ever tells you. It might be in the manual. Do I have the manual? God. Okay, I'm gonna look.
I read the manual for Dark Souls.
Yeah.
I didn't read the manual for Dark Souls.
If I right-click on Dark Souls 2, I do not see view manual. That's a thing in Dark Souls, I think, or at least it was. The Scholar of the First Sin have view manual. Manage. Move from add to. I don't see a manual. I'm gonna Google Dark Souls 2 manual. Okay, here it goes.
How are we gonna do it now?
I've Googled power. There's one thing with power. I don't know where it's at. Power stance does not show up. Dual. Does dual work? Okay. If certain weapons are equipped in each hand, continuing to press the Y button will sometimes allow you to dual wield. When dual wielding, the LB and LT can be used to perform attacks that are unique. So
sometimes.
Sometimes.
They don't even fucking tell you. They just hint that it could be possible.
It could be possible.
Sometimes vagrants appear. I learned about vagrants from the manual. And that was a lie until one of them shot me in the back.
I'm just going to go to the meteor, because there's nothing in... I could go back to the castle, but there's nothing there I can use.
Yeah, it would be a bit of a payday for you, and that's about it.
Actually, there is one thing I have to do. I forgot about my water job.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, right, it has to be Berserker, right?
I have to buy an axe.
Do they even have axes?
Yep. Actually, no, I'll just use dagger and I'll buy a mithril axe later. Like, this is dumb. I shouldn't. Out of my way, wizards. Ooh, I could have a berserker with cover.
As an active ability that he would never use, yeah. But no, legit, Berserker with double hand is kind of great.
Fairly powerful. Which probably means, okay, if that's the plan, I don't want it to be Butts. Usually I can dim Butts to be my Berserker. But if he has to learn double hand, then it should be someone else for now. So, Galoof. There we go. Because usually I just make Butts my Berserker so I don't have to worry about him ever learning any abilities that he can't use. But if the plan is the double hand with him, then... I could put equipped swords on him to give him higher base strength and use weapons without mischances. Yeah. I could give my Berserker the Brave Blade.
Yeah. Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls 2. I need to finish my randomizer of that. It's been better than the Dark Souls 3 randomizer. I just think that's true.
That's a bit of a surprise.
I think it's the level design is better for it than... The one downside is the randomizer works through cheat engines, so it cannot randomize shops.
Right, I was completely baffled by that, because it's like... I mean, if I understood that, I would just fight a bunch of random, very easy enemies at the beginning of the game. It's not like this game lacks for too many dudes to fight. And then you know, eventually one of them is going to drop something useful for me because it's always like on the spot, random kind of.
It is enemies. Okay, I think I understand how the randomizer works.
Mhm.
Each item that you pick up points to an address that, like, you pick up this particular glowy, it points to address ff5 like something like that. And then that gets randomized on the fly, but it's still, like, enemies that drop, like, the enemies' drops get randomized to a different thing, and it's semi-consistent, where...
Oh.
Like, so, like, the skeletons were dropping, like, they were always dropping, like, Royal Soldier armor, like... Like, their normal drop was just getting replaced. And the reason it wouldn't work on shops is because shops don't... Like, it couldn't access the address of the shops and change that on the fly. To do that, you would actually have to go to the param file and change that, which is what all the other randomizers do.
Right. Those are in the param file. Okay. The one other thing that, like, kind of stuck out to me while I was watching you play through that is that, I'm pretty sure I never fought a gigantic rat that had other little rats.
It's just in the Doors of Pharaohs. It's a bonus boss. It did nothing. It was a bad decision to fight. I got nothing for it. It was a bad fight. It was just... It was a punishment fight. Punishing me for making a decision.
Okay. Because I recognized everything else that you had been through, and then there was just a giant rat on the screen, and I'm like, when did that happen?
It's one of the two ways to join the Rat Covenant. Is you can either fight the Royal Rat Authority, or you can fight the Rat Vanguard. And the Rat Vanguard is in the Grave of the Saints, and the Royal Rat Authority is in the Doors of Pharaohs. And that's
I remember,
rats.
like, dipping my toe into the Doors of Pharaohs. Did I just, like, back out of that and decide it wasn't worth it?
You probably got through and then never went back to go to it, because there's no reason to. So the correct thing to buy here is a mithril knife. I would rather have Gully for the mithril knife than a mithril hammer. I also need to buy some swords.
I love the deep discount. Hey, Elixir!
Yeah,
That's
elixir.
lucky.
That's a useful item. My levels are staggered, that's good. Everybody has been dead in a fight except Ferris, so she's at level 12. I get more money out of my mithril hammer than I do out of whatever.
Well, you're gonna use Mithril Sword, right? Okay.
I could have got that, but
Did you get your discount?
I got a discount.
You got a discount on a knife,
Yeah.
which is
Good,
not
good.
bad. I mean, wait! We're all here.
Yeah, we're all here.
We're all here and on stream. Oh, it's time to argue about Independence Day.
Hey, wait! When did we
I've
say
been
we were?
waiting for
When
this
did
for
we say
weeks.
we were going to do that? I don't remember.
We didn't. I did because you and Slyer over here.
Yeah, I don't like
are arguing
Independence
about
Day.
Independence Day without me.
What is your opinion on Independence Day, Kaz?
It is very dumb and very fun.
See, I think it's just very dumb and very bad. I don't enjoy it. It's not the kind of dumb I like.
Oh, that's a shame. You don't like it when Will Smith like punches an alien in the face?
No,
and
I
says,
don't.
Welcome to Earth.
I don't
like-
like it.
Oh, come on! How can you not like that? It's the Fresh Prince punching an alien in the face.
Well, for one, I've never actually liked Will Smith that much. I didn't watch Fresh Prince. I liked him in Men in Black.
Well, watching Fresh
Fair,
Prince is probably the point where you see him enough that
You like, and then if you mostly see his later career stuff, you realize that he's like a arrogant prick who makes
Yes.
movies for his son to be in.
like I was gonna say I'm thinking about like that one where they crash land on a planet or
And they do terrible accents because
Right, which is a Will Smith vehicle, but also
it's
a Jordan Smith vehicle?
no, Jaden.
Jaden.
Jaden Smith. Jordan Jaden. I'm sorry, I got.
Yep. Brett Spiner, yeah.
Brent Spiner is in Independence Day.
He dies, but then later he's in Independence Day 2. He didn't die.
For no reason.
He didn't die.
Whoa, I'm gonna stop you right there. I do not allow Independence Day 2 into my discussions of Independence Day.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Smart choice.
That can only ruin things in both directions.
That's what we call a smart choice.
But
you're right.
I don't know.
Oh, that's the only smart choice I've made today.
The movie is just so pandering, and I really hate it when shit panders to me because it makes.
Who is pandering to what, though?
Roland Emmerich is pandering to me, thinking that I'm a slack jaw and want to see moving images and colors.
Okay, well, that's a reason to go like fight him at his house. Not a reason to say that Independence Day is a bad film.
Okay, here's something I'll ask.
By the way, I'm not saying it's good. I don't think it's actually a good movie.
Okay, how can you enjoy that movie, but not enjoy Godzilla 2000 when they do all the same shit?
But they did. No. Well, hold on, I did enjoy Godzilla 2000. The American one. The one where it's like they tried to turn Godzilla cool for like 1990s teens.
Remember how many different scales Godzilla is in that movie? Where sometimes Godzilla can fit between alleyways, and then sometimes Godzilla is so big it's taller than skyscrapers.
Nope, don't remember that whatsoever. I remember that it advertised itself as another Jurassic Park.
Ooh.
And I liked Jurassic Park, and Jurassic Park 2, and God help me, Jurassic Park 3.
Which one was the one with the gymnastics in it? And like, was that 2 or 3?
It was 1.
It was not 1.
It was 1.
It was not 1. 1 did not have
gymnastics. And
she
then
doesn't.
Kicks a raptor in the
that
head.
was not Jurassic Park 1 though.
I watched a movie magic about this where they had to like CGI over her face because the stunt double looked at the camera.
No, that wasn't the spinning. That was the vent scene where.
That was the vent scene.
No,
okay, I'm thinking of the vent scene. But the girl was a gymnast, and like climbing a vent was a. Oh, hold on, no.
I think that's 2.
I think it's 2. The full like flip was 2.
It was 2. The Lost.
Because by the time you got to Lost World, the only actor from the originals that they could get was Jeff Goldblum because he's lame.
Yeah, he's lame.
and that was the one with a T-Rex like wandering around San Francisco or whatever, just looking into people's houses and be like, "Hey, sup?"
The further you go in the Jurassic Park movies, the sillier things get, and the like, the deeper things have to get as far as their pulls, because it's like, who do we have for cast members? Hey, do you remember this person in the background of one scene?
Now, the amazing part about that is I think it doesn't only happen movie to movie. I think it happens like scene to scene within the individual movies. Like they just get hammier and worse as they go until at the end of the first movie there's like a T-Rex shattering a T-Rex skeleton with a banner floating in front of it that says King of the Dinosaurs. That was like
I love that though. That's good.
It's good. It's good. You know, another movie that has Jeff Goldblum in it while he's completely hamming it up is Independence Day.
It's true.
Where he drunkenly rails at the president for using a nuke on some spaceships that are there.
Okay, let's...
And they aren't French. Now, okay, I will admit that the perfected version of Independence Day is actually Pacific Rim.
Well, that's like a good director doing it. A director who's smart.
Pacific Rim is yes, extremely good.
That's one I will defend by basically any like criterion. Like it's absolutely hammy. It is childish and puerile. It's also wonderful. and it works on basically every level.
Like,
It's just they built real like moving sets for the inside of the mech things.
yep.
Like gigantic, like pneumatically controlled, like oscillating sets that the actors had to be in.
Yeah, they didn't have to do the Star Trek wiggle, you know,
Yeah, that was just a regular camera, and the set was itself shaped. Oh man,
Why is my health so low?
you've been attacked.
I have been attacked. I've made a mistake. I need to go buy a bunch of eye drops because I can't run from crew dust.
Yeah, they're gonna cast Flash sooner or later, and it might just help to heal.
Like here.
There's probably an endless number of films that could be classified as a better Godzilla 2000. Even though I genuinely like that movie, although I've only seen it once when I was very little.
So, with Godzilla, I've seen the most recent Godzilla films. Both there's been 3 in more recent memory. One like
Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, two like U.S. made ones and Shin Godzilla. The two that have had like were American made. Decided, all right, so this is a movie about Godzilla. Yep. All right, so how much should Godzilla be in the movie? 10 minutes? 12 minutes?
Oh, don't reveal your monster until the 3rd act, right?
That's what they like, and not so. On top of that, so the way that it pulls you in is that it has it starts off with Bryan Cranston as this like scientist who's like he's this one who everyone the scientist everyone thinks is silly. They don't believe a word he says. Like, oh, he's just that mad scientist railing about Godzilla, and he's like, Godzilla is real. All these things are real, and so he's actually quite good in that film for the 20 minutes he's in it. Like,
well, he was a prestige actor at that point. He could go do other things.
He was, but then but then after he's no longer in the film, it moves to his son, who is generic military man who has to go to military man, and he has a wife, and his wife he is estranged with. Then he has a son, and do you know what we're gonna spend the rest of this time on? Family drama. Ooh, I hope
Call of Duty. Yeah.
I hope you like family drama and hoorah military action, because that's all that's in that movie until the last 10 minutes.
And then you have Shin Godzilla, which is lots of scientists sitting in rooms and lots of Godzilla destroying things, which is what Godzilla is.
A plus. There is a sequel somehow to that the Godzilla movie with Bryan Cranston and Military Man. They realized, wait, maybe people are here for Godzilla, so Godzilla's airtime doubled.
Like 20 minutes now.
Yeah, it's like 20. It is. It's like 20 minutes, and then the rest of the movie is, I can't believe my estranged wife, me, Military Man, is actually a terrorist who is trying to bring Godzilla back to life.
No, here's what it should have been. I can't believe my estranged wife was Godzilla.
But it's just every time you're dealing with Godzilla, but it's Blast Core. Ooh, that'd be nice. But yeah, like those movies, and the second movie has like is trying to go all out. It has Godzilla, it has Ghidorah, it has Mothra, it has like all of these it's all over the place, and it's trying to have a good time, but it only is actually trying to have a good time about half the time. The rest of it is again just family drama you're not here for. So yeah,
I've not been flashed yet. That's good.
This is all to say that at least in Godzilla 2000,
You see a lot of Godzilla.
you do see the Godzilla. And the Gadzuki or whatever. I think there's a mini Godzilla in that movie, right?
Oh, there's a lot. Godzilla has lots of babies.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm gonna let Galoof act and then attack. The reason being so that there isn't a crew dust left behind. There we go.
Yeah, if you leave one, that ends poorly. I'd forgotten about when I was playing this, like, yesterday. I'd forgotten about the, like, desperation move thing.
Ooh, yeah, the last enemy does something dangerous.
Yeah. Like, my mind told me, like, never leave a bio soldier alone, but...
Right, there's a lot of enemies that accounts for. They later put that into Final Fantasy VI as desperation moves for the player characters.
Yeah.
And that was like the beginning of what a limit break was, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Very rare. Not something that came up very often. Like, you could probably go through the entirety of 6 and never see it.
That's most of 6's game mechanics, to be quite honest. It's like...
I think the funniest thing about 6 to me is that one of its major mechanics is like leveling up with espers, but you basically don't get to the point where you actually do that until like maybe the final third. Like, it takes quite some time for you to even get espers, and then like to get espers you want to level up with is like World of Ruin and stuff. Like,
what I think all of the drawing points of 6 are all of the things that don't work rather than the things that do work. Like evade and magic evade. That's a feature to me, not a bug. White Cape is a feature.
It's funny, when I think of White Cape, I think of it as like super strong, but it isn't in other games.
It sucks in other games. It doesn't do anything.
It doesn't have the double,
Yeah. Like, as soon as I learned about that kind of stuff, I did a playthrough, which is apparently a challenge run, called the Celeste Setzer Edgar, or Celeste Edgar Setzer run, or CES, where you only have those 3 characters because they are the minimum number of characters required to beat the game.
Right, you have to have 3.
Yeah, you need 3 different parties to take on the ending, and Celeste, Edgar, and Setzer are required to get the airship, which is access to the final dungeon. And, like, when I did that run, I had, like, different ways of leveling up each of them to be, like, super soldiers. And Celeste was the dodge tank, who just had perfect M evade, which counted for physical evade, so she just couldn't be touched by anything that did a damage roll.
Yep.
Which I learned just what it was in the game that, like, ignored that. For example, Blowfish, the move known to many others as 1,000 Needles. Yeah, that ignored to hit chance. It just always hits. Oh boy. Wasn't that a revelation?
I don't remember where the treasures are, because I never remember where the treasures are in this game.
Well, you got the Green Beret, which is one of the big ones.
That's the only one I really remember.
There's a Twin Link in here, which if I get Thief, I do want the Twin Link.
Twin Link.
I don't think a Twin Link is here.
Yeah, there's a Twin Link here.
No, there isn't. It's like way later in the game.
No, right there. It's Boomerang.
There's one in like the Cleft of Dimension.
It's the Boomerang.
Weaker version of it.
Yeah, the Boomerang, not that.
Oh.
Not the Moonring Blade.
Yeah, Moon.
Oh, that's okay. Well, that's not a Twin Link.
It's not Twin Link.
It is a thief only equipment. A thief and ninja only equipment, I guess.
Yo, what up?
But yeah.
Hey.
Maybe Briz. But yeah, like the CES run. So Celeste was my dodge tank. Setzer was my vitality boy. Because apparently, the amount of HP that you healed from regen was dependent on your vitality, and you could crank your vitality so high that you would regen both on like your turn and opponent's turn kind of thing. So he was just like double gaining HP. It looked ridiculous. He had this like gigantic HP pool, and then in between when he and enemies would act, it would just pop up with like 200, and I'm like, yeah.
Ooh, got a
It's
speed
so
chip.
good.
Constantly healing.
Then Edgar was the glass cannon. I looked up what damage formulas like counted for like whatever stats, and so he just like had the murder beams on everything. God, that was the game with Vanish Doom also.
It was the game with Vanish Doom.
Oh,
ff6 had a lot of really stupid, busted ways to kill things. and
what
not
a,
die.
what a preposterous video game that was.
Okay. So my plan with Liquid Flame is to hit it.
Yeah, that's all you got, right?
Yeah, I mean between Knight and Berserker.
You have two-hand. Like, two-hand is pretty nice.
Yeah, and I have to get that's the one downside of getting a Mithril Knife, is I can't two-hand it.
Oh, right. It's only sword.
Yeah. No, you can two-hand... I'm pretty sure you can two-hand Axe.
You should be able to two-hand axe, spear, or knight sword.
Sword.
I think that's it.
So
Yeah,
axe,
regular sword because there's.
So I can two-hand Axe, but I have to get a Mithril Hammer. But I might still prefer just having an attack that always hits, rather than one that misses half the time.
Yeah, sadly, why do axes have a miss chance? What the hell?
Because they're big and clumsy.
The power of axes.
Okay, did Butts just learn two-hand? No. Lena did.
I mean,
I suppose, okay.
Get a trade-off for what it's worth, because a lot of the damage on it does piercing, I guess.
Yeah, the damage,
Well,
the defense piercing is good, but
It has like a proportional random defense piercing, though. It's like not even really reliable.
Yeah, just use it on Omega all the time, no big deal.
how about Doomax? Doomax is why axes are good. Not any specific axe mechanic, but the
You
item
know why
Doomax.
Berserkers are good.
Yeah,
Yep.
just good. I love the Doomax. Let's get a ribbon that I'll never use, because even if I get Dancer, I'm gonna wear... Oh, that's
Look
ribbon
for
in
it.
the cave. Or is
Oh,
it-
you're thinking of Ancient Cave?
I was thinking of Ancient Cave.
Ancient key.
Yeah.
What, you
Oh,
open
God.
you open that chest, and you immediately get attacked by the liquid flame from.
I don't
Phoenix
think
Tower.
Yeah, the Liquid Flame from Phoenix Tower plus
Two
Deathclaw.
Yeah, two death claws.
2 Iron Claws.
Iron Claw.
Yeah.
I think that I have never defeated the FF5 Ancient Cave. I remember getting to Zeromus
Mm-hmm.
I think
and
you did.
being just taken aback by it being Zeromus.
That's
That's all I remember.
I think that's like. I remember you. Okay, you beat the cave once by using the flying squirrel to stun or stop the wizard that becomes Zeromus.
Okay, yes. I kind of remember that because I spirit captured it.
Yeah, you spirit captured it, and that was your victory. And then you got victory from there, and that was.
Should I let this run out of MP?
Just let it do its thing forever. Maybe you. Oh, I was gonna say, as long as your berserker's on the floor, you can.
I might pick up the Berserker after this.
Yeah, there is a highlight in your highlight 7 years ago. Don't tell me that.
I've been streaming for a long ass time,
Yeah.
B. I've been streaming for 13 fucking years.
Yeah, I look at mine and it's like from 2012, and I'm like, oh god, and then you're just like, yeah. Well, there's the Justin TV.
I remember Justin TV.
I do too.
God, I remember having to launch an independent like Adobe Flash
Yeah,
tool.
the Adobe Flash streamer. And
Streamer
I remember using
things.
the. I remember streaming to live stream and using the live caster.
I don't know if I ever did that.
Okay, so you in this highlight, you fight Zeromus for about 10 minutes, wipe because it's Zeromus,
Right.
load a save state, and spirit capture the wizard.
Okay. I don't remember doing much of that, but
I
I believe you.
yeah. I tend to remember dumb things like that, where it's like,
Lord.
7-year-old stream, yeah, that's perfectly in memory.
I forgot to two-hand on Luna. That's fine.
Okay, you should still be all. I guess that just means have Lena do like healing stuff.
I'm out of potions.
Oh, well, don't have Lena do healing stuff. And just have Lena attack.
I could have Lena eat an elixir.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
no,
two
she's
in the
dead.
last room, right? Blaze it.
Blaze before the Blaze counterattack is kind of beefy.
Blaze is such a killer in this. I know I have quad thief. I'm gonna be doing a lot of stealing for high potions when I get onto this.
I think I need to get two-hand on everybody, and I might have to go buy a mithril hammer. Unless I just miraculously die. Die with this hit. I am dead. Okay, so I'm going to have to go buy.
Okay. Good attempt. Good attempt.
Let's go buy a mithril hammer, and usually, if in this kind of party, you might have to grind for damage levels. I'm not going to, because I can use two hands to fake do that. As I do not grind for levels. I am above such behavior.
Grind for two hand. That's different.
That's different. I can do that with Nax. Nax skip AP.
A wild knack.
Yeah. Attack the knack.
Wild Nax, snack attack. Pudding pack. Because look at the difference in damage between Lena and Ferris. They're 400 versus less than 200. Though Lena could be doing it literally right now. So, nope, okay, maybe not. She learned it on the way. Okay, I hate leaving the ship, but I kind of have to.
Oh, it's no. There is no shame in leaving the ship.
But what if there is?
None at all. No, there isn't. Whatever shame you think there is, give it to me. I'll take it.
Are you a shame eater?
Hand it to me. Yes.
Take the shame
Just
out of
like-
your body.
Just like the Sin Eater from that Who's It's movie.
Yeah.
You know, the guy. Heath Ledger.
You're
The
gonna,
Order.
yeah. You'll have to like get a communion wafer and like hold it against my eye or something for the sin to come out. God, look how expensive a mithril hammer is. Holy shit. 1,000?
Hold on. So, you hold the wafer to the eye and then you eat the sin. Is it a wafer for the shame?
It's a shame. I mean, you could use a wafer. Typically, though, it's like a putty.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't have to be as baked as the ones that they use for sin, because it's just shame. So just like a little, like a dough.
Use just some dough.
It'll be okay.
Currently, I have not ran away from anything. And until I have a reason to, I will not do so.
That tends to be my, like, I don't actively chase either the Brave Blade or the Chicken Knife until I have a class that asks me. And even if I have Knight, that isn't a class that asks me. The only thing you can ask is if the Chicken Knife works. You know, so if I end up with a Knight and 4 classes that can't really wield the Chicken Knife, then I will consider Brave Blade. But if you have any way to use the Chicken Knife, then that's when you turn on a dime.
Okay, 3 more fights for Butts, and then he will become a berserker for the rest of his life.
Berserker.
Although I might need to also do it on Galoof to get him two-handed. Actually, what that means I should be doing is...
Yeah, for what it's worth, I'm really glad that they have an encounter that just gives you tons of money for what you need in that point in the game.
Yeah, everybody loves Wild Necks.
I kind of love it and hate it. I mean, I like it because it's very rewarding and very simple as a fight. Basically, any party, no matter the loadout, can defeat Wild Max and get a lot of cash, experience, ability points. I hate it because most of the game is, like, not that.
Yeah, the encounter design in this game is kind of all over the place.
It really is.
It just happens to line up for this particular segment.
Where's a good place to farm AP here? How does Aegir? How's your AP, Aegir?
Well, I hate to say it, but, like, maybe the best ABP grinding access that you have is Nutkins.
I'm not going back to Nutkin. I don't want to try Fireship enemies, because they'll also give better experience.
If you're not going for money, that's actually going to be a better setup for you. Oh boy.
This fight's fine.
Alright, so I think it's still 51 minutes. Good. I'll have to keep an eye on what the world record on Cube is.
Arena Cube.
I did a pair of runs today. I didn't beat an hour.
I saw you do that. I was inspired and did one of my own. But I had to stop in the middle because I got tired of playing Magic the Gathering.
You gotta pace yourself.
Yeah. I mean, the first attempt I had, one of my opponents did, like, they went first. They did turn 5 Mirari's Wake, turn 6 Ulamog, exiling my 2 most important cards. And I'm like, oh, darn. Guess I have to try to burn you down from 10.
Oh no, back attack. The 4 Crew Dust gives 2 AP and it's not that hard, so I think this is what I want to do.
But yeah, I'm all about speedrun Arena Cube. I think that's a way to approach it that stops me from falling into some of the traps that I've fallen into with Magic. But I can offer you and Ryan some technology. Are you ready for this?
Alright.
Okay. If you hold a card out of your hand while your turn is beginning, the animation for drawing a card from your deck will go faster.
So if I have a land, I want to speed it, like just
Yeah,
slam.
yeah. You can, and the card will just like zoop, and it's very dramatic. It's a dramatic difference. It saves like seconds.
Well, that's optimization.
Yeah. Then there's the space bar to just commit whatever the active action is, which can help tamp down on those times when it's just like you're passing because you have a Witch's Oven untapped or whatever.
Yeah, it's funny that actually informs pick decision too. Like Dauntless Bodyguard.
I wish it didn't, but you're right. Like
Dauntless Bodyguard is such an annoying card because it gives you full like control priority all time.
It stops every time you would get priority in the game.
I'm like, that card is not. I don't know. I don't think that card's powerful enough for it. Adonto Vanguard is.
Yeah.
Adonto Vanguard is worth the cost, but...
I'm not convinced that's the case, at least in Arena Cube, because, like, okay, this is probably just my own experience, but, like, every time one of my opponents has had Adonto Vanguard, all it's done is given my, what's his name? The guy who's, like, 1 black, 1/2, that pumps for Death Touch and +3/+3.
Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Knight of the Ebon Legion.
Free activation.
Yeah, that's just like a free +1/+1 counter on my Knight of the Ebon Legion. Which maybe speaks more to the ridiculousness of Knight of the Ebon Legion. Can we talk about how ridiculous that card is?
Those cards is one of the very many pushed cards of that year. Its activation giving +3/+3?
For black 2.
And
What?
Death Touch.
It's the best shade possible. Like,
That should cost like black.
yeah, but no, it's black 2 for +3/+3
Right, so
instead of
it's like a splashable guy.
Mhm.
And then if a player lost 4 or more life, not your opponents, any player, so you can just activate the Adonto Vanguard and put a counter on this guy.
So
That was by
I
design though, because Black White Vampire is like a pushed thing.
Well, yeah, but like the Knight of the Ebon Legion didn't come out until the core set, right?
Yep,
He was a
it
core
was-
set guy.
It was
Yes.
they worked together. They also printed the Sorin. They wanted that deck to exist for a little while.
Yeah,
and it did.
Sorin was also in the core set.
the so one thing for certain, especially from my experience, I do agree that when my opponent has an Adonto Vanguard, it's hilarious and sucks. Like they like when I'm speed running and my opponent's willing to pay 4 life to kill my 1/1 token. A+, please keep doing that. On the other hand, I've gotten I play my Adonto Vanguard. My opponent goes, lava coil your Adonto Vanguard, and I go, all right, I'll pay 4 life. And they're like, okay, Storm's Wrath, 4 damage to all your creatures. I'm like, all right, I'll pay 4 life. And then they go, all right, I'm dead. Like,
Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those. Then they're skill testing cards, where the question that it asks of the player is, have you been playing on MTG Arena since Adonto Vanguard was legal? Because, like, Adonto Vanguard is one of the cards that you have to take a correspondence course in using before you're allowed to do it right. Ginger Brute is the other that... And let me tell you, I took my 3-month correspondence course in how to use Ginger Brute because I played the shit out of Eldraine Limited.
I did too. Yeah.
same.
I played so much Eldraine Limited, I didn't even realize I had until I opened up a pack of Eldraine on Arena, and
Oh, did it just give you nothing?
I got gems, and I'm like, what? I actually got a playset?
But yeah, that literally means you're done.
Yeah. No, I know for a fact that Ryan Overturf has not taken that correspondence course in how to use Ginger Bruce, because I have also watched him make those mistakes on Arena. But it's...
Yeah.
It's like- It's hilarious. These cards should not actually be that complicated. I think ideally in like a perfect Magic world, but boy are they.
Okay, this should be 2-hand on Belief,
Excellent.
I think. Yep. Okay.
Got two-handed, baby. Yes.
I can tint.
Get your 10 event.
And for all my intensive purposes.
Every purpose that you have is intent because you are intent.
Alright, now I can go solve a puzzle for an elixir that I might actually need. And then go die a liquid flame. Also, I can't run from this encounter. Luckily, they die in 2 hits, though. 'cause
Yeah, crush them.
I'm powerful. I'm big, strong, and green. And I'm full of killing energy.
Like, I'm gonna have to be the same way. As soon as I start this up, it's gonna be monk. I'm not going to start it up until I finish my Breedley default fiesta, so...
Got back attack.
Which I had meant to do more of, but I don't like doing that until after y'all are done with streaming. But Slyo started kind of late today, and then
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't really want to start at 10 p.m.
That's the problem when we all stream so much, is you have to double book at some point.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
I like today, it was like 5 o'clock, and I'm sitting there like, making dinner. I'm just thinking to myself, like, yeah, Xenoblade today. That's the only thing oh, right. Cards. I just like start chopping real quick. And, all right. Oh fuck. Well, does W split still work? All right. Good.
I love that claim prize is an independent split from like Win 7.
It's like, and the worst part is that it's like 10 seconds. Like,
There's like, across the whole thing, there's kind of a baked-in disrespect both for speedrunning and for Magic the Gathering Arena that I super appreciate.
Okay, attempt number 2.
excellent.
This liquid flame is going to be far more
Chopped than the last one.
Yeah, chopped.
Yeah, I find it silly because like the first part of the run is the draft. The part where you're one of 8 people and just don't have enough. Like you can have a draft that takes 12 minutes. You can have a draft that takes 18. Like, whatever.
As far as I can tell, if you get into a pool with anyone who has an Ajani avatar, they're going to take the longest. They're literally going to take forever.
I've
Okay.
seen Teferi as the long one, in my experience.
Karn.
Teferi is.
Anybody who's playing as Karn is up to no good.
God, I love how all 3 of us have a different. Okay, so which one of us is Karn? Which one of us is Teferi? And which one of us is a Johnny here?
I'm Liliana, because I am the most beautifulest, obviously.
And I play as Yaya Ballard. Because her card was bad, so she never got to get played.
Fire Grandma. Jaya has never had a good card, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Giant
Giant
Ballard Task
Green-
Mage was a fun card. I don't know if it was good.
It wasn't good, but it was fun. It was like a prototype design for Planeswalkers.
Like, it was pretty sweet to be able to just keep casting Blue Elemental Blast or whatever every turn.
The Spell Shapers were good. I like Spell Shapers as a design. So we're letting the Tornado run out of MP,
Yep.
and I'm using my potions while to waste time. Luckily, it killed butts for me.
That is basically what you want.
Yeah, it's optimal. Or else I would have had to have done it, and that would make Kaz sad. I relish in the killing of berserkers, but I know other people do not.
I actually forget if Blaze uses envy or not.
I feel like any boss fight that is won off the back of a dead berserker is an invalid boss fight.
So Blaze doesn't use MP. Both fire forms use MP, but they have a different MP pool. So this like the man only does use the potion, please. Use the potion, please. There we go. Thank you. The hand and the tornado both cast fire up, but they have different MP pools. The hand can only cast it like 4 times, and that's how you know your liquid flame fight is bad, when you see the hand run out of MP. Because it means it's killed you like 5 times.
Yeah, that means the hand has hit you with fire way too often. Sucks because it hits real hard.
Speaking of hitting hard, I'm posting some numbers.
Basically, you just want Tornado as much as possible in this fight. Let's be real.
Yes, 700! Goodbye, Lena.
Good.
That's a quarter.
It's a big, juicy berserker hit. Dead. Okay.
Yeah, that's
If it
Nice.
was worth, hell yeah.
Yeah, the two-hand really pulled through there. Hey, Flame Blow. Flame
Yeah.
Bow. Sorry.
All right.
Reading Flame Bow is
Take a look in a
pricey, I
book.
think. You could
Reading Flamebow.
reading Flame Bow.
So when do y'all do fire tweet?
I'm doing it now just because I'm not
'Cause,
going
like-
to look until I actually get to the Karnak room.
Right.
I
'cause
don't
obviously-
hold myself to a hard rule about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of
The word
free.
fire crystal
The
is
same
on
way
screen.
The same way I approach Magic the Gathering, like, if I make the same mistake for the 100th time, I don't give a shit. I'm like, eh, that'll happen. Look at me, I drew 8 more lands than my opponent. That's part of the game.
Man, we are Team Sword because Gnome Bitten can now use the water job Mystic Knight.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we are team not heavy armor.
So that's what that means. You're gonna get what Samurai as for, or
Yeah. Or knowing my luck,
Berserker
Dragoon.
2.
I'd rather have another Berserker than Dragoon.
Oh, right. What's your shopping list for Karnak?
Yo, if you did get Dragoon, though, you would be like Shield team.
Yeah, Team Shield.
Like, everyone that you have can wield a shield.
Although,
what the
So
heck?
could Samurai. Samurai uses shields too.
Samurai can use a shield, yeah.
Which means I would have to use Fire Shield, Ice Shield, Aegis Shield, and farm another Fire Shield. Or not Genji Shield, but you don't get that for a long
Alright,
ass time.
usually get that Thief Knife proc on Gilgamesh 3 or whatever.
Yeah. Sounds like a Brave Blade challenge, though, to me. I will have to Brave Blade it, but
I mean,
once I get to-
Tyrannosaurus is strong. Like,
yeah.
Mystic Knight is gonna do you well.
Mystic Knight will give me Drain Blade of other
Drain
things.
Blade.
An
Ooh.
excuse to go buy a bunch of magic.
It also gives you Break Blade.
Yeah, Break Blade is the powerful thing to do.
Breakblade is the one that, like, just straight up kills 1/4 of Ned.
Yep.
So
Okay, so
that's kind of cool.
I'm gonna get to the
That's-
saves point and call it a stream.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
But I gotta watch this fun cutscene that we all love. And
All right, 54.
54. I forget what we're betting on.
Oh, I'm betting on what time you'll save at.
Oh, okay.
Which I mean, you have full control over, so you can just stop
Which
it
means,
from
which
winning.
means I can't bet.
Right.
Bold of you to not touch the healing pot.
I touched the save thing at 59, but the actual came out of the save screen at 54. So, but here's the
That's
thing:
cool thing.
people with anxiety double save. Eat it, nerd.
See you on Friday in a less stressful game, D.
Yes.
I mean,
Good
at
night,
first I thought
everybody.
you were just going to go through the whole thing with just a dead Lena. I'm like, well, she's just getting a head start.
I'm staggering my levels. I want to have at least another person at level. I should probably get another. I want 2 people to be staggered, so if I get booked, I won't completely be eaten. Anyway, that's it for tonight.
All right.
Later.